Okay, here we go with round 7. If you survive round 6, round 7 will pose no problem to you. Again, you're going to be wanting to take the health route this time. The upgrades, just max out your inventory for your flares, your grenades, your turrets. Don't worry about upgrading anything because you likely won't have that much money from the previous round. So, just conserve your money, make sure you're stocked up on ammo, and you should be good to go. So you're going to be doing the exact same thing you kind of did the first time you went down the health route. Get all the secrets. You shouldn't have any problems going through this area. Again, if you get damaged, it's not that big of a deal because, there's lots of health throughout the level. A lot of enemies at the beginning will drop health, and, it's pretty easy. Again, don't worry yourself too much over not getting a card trunk or something. I mean, it's only 500 gold. In the beginning levels, you can do it because you don't take as much damage, but in these later levels, anything from 6 and 6+, I would just avoid. Again, when you get this swarm of guys, it's not a bad thing because they all drop those 100 points of gold. These like really weak creatures that come at you in swarms. So just pull out your SMG, get some work done. Now I do burn through a lot of my SMG ammo before I even open up my original pathway, and when there's such little enemies here, I should technically be using my rifle, but mistakes. That's why I make these videos, so you guys don't make them. So yeah, just switch to your SMG if you have to. I mean, you got a full shocker, or you should have a full shocker going into this level as well. So that should tide over, most enemies if you run out of SMG ammo. So right here you see my frame rate drop, so I know that there's going to be this swarm of guys coming at me. I switch to my SMG. I kind of rush into them when I kill them so that I can try to collect the gold before it drops in value to half. Because for some reason when you kill those small guys, the gold that they drop tends to turn into like half the value really quickly, a lot quicker than usual. So, and now the fact that my turret is all the way back here, I have to lure enemies all the way back, or I have a further spot to fall back to, which isn't a bad thing because in this later round, enemies are more powerful. So having that little bit of extra room could prove pretty valuable. Because if you watched my round 5 video, I did put the turret up towards that crate. Just ahead of me there, but having it back here is not necessarily a bad thing. And again, whenever you fight those mini bosses, like I was fighting that giant stomper guy, if you sprint as soon as he lands on you, you won't take any damage, so don't worry about that. Generally, because I took out most of the enemies, the normal zombies, I didn't have to drop another turret or run back to take care of that slasher guy. All was done pretty well. The health packs that these zombies drop, they generally can be pretty well hidden underneath the bodies of the zombies. So whenever you see like a giant pile of zombies, just stomp around it. Maybe there's a hidden health pack there. If you can make out kind of a like faint green glow, like you can see me kind of looking for there, usually that means that there's a health pack there. Sometimes it's just the pair of legs from the zombie, but just it doesn't hurt to just try to stomp down if the area is clear. Maybe pick up an extra $3,000, which is always good. So just keep progressing normally. Take your time with this part. You really want to try to gather up a lot of upgrades because going into round 8, definitely the hardest round in this entire, sequence, this entire walkthrough. You're going to want to try to have everything upgraded as much as possible. So take your time, collect as much money as you can, take as little damage as you can. Use as little ammo as you can. Just preserve as much as you can so that you don't have to buy to restock up on things later on, and you can put that money towards upgrades. The shocker is a lifesaver in round 8, and I think I use it at the very end, and it's just awesome. So I'll show you that when the time comes. And then of course round 9, you're just going to be going through this health route again. It's nothing difficult. You can actually just sprint to the very end if you wanted to, and just focus on the final area. But again, I'll discuss that when I get to it. it's always a good idea in these later rounds too, if you can isolate the zombies and pick them off, you know, if not one by one at least, you know, just a couple at a time, or, you know, do a charge shot through a couple of them because that's an instant headshot. That's always a good thing. The zombies do get stronger. I have noticed that some may survive a charge shot, which sounds kind of weird, but I'm almost positive that I've done charge shots against zombies before and they still come at me, so that's just something to be aware of. Also, exploding cars do not fully destroy zombies starting from like round 8 and stuff, and there I accidentally shot my vending machine, so something to be aware of. Like I said in earlier videos, you know, be aware of where you're shooting when you know that there's a vending machine around. So here's some demonstration of the shocker. It's just like an instant automatic kill, and the zombies that were behind that horde of mini creature things, they were frozen in place thanks to the shocker and the massive amount of range that I got on it. So that's one of the reasons, or an example of why you want to have an upgraded shocker, and why I think it's a lot better weapon to choose than the grenade launcher. Definitely serves its purpose. I use the shocker in the main game as well quite frequently. If you watch one of my really older uploads where I do the last checkpoint on Morbid, you see me use the shocker and it just goes to town. It just wrecks a lot of enemies, and you can see how many of them are swarming up that area. And again, this is just free gold pretty much, so I have no problem just, you know, spamming the shocker. I got around 4,500 and I wasted my vending machine again right there, but you know, it's not that big a deal because it's kind of hard to manage where you're shooting. You can't see through the train sometimes, so it's not a big deal if you missed that one. So here's an example. This guy might drop. I ended up deciding to take him out because it's not really that big of a detriment since there's no other enemies around, and my, you know, one clip from a rifle takes him out. But you can just technically run through the gate and he won't be able to get you. But like I said in the round 5 video, he can slash you through the gate, so if you're going to back up to that area, be aware of that. And right there, that guy came out of nowhere and just stomps me, which kind of sucks. I take some heavy damage, but I was somehow able to run through those 3 Fatso guys, and this is what I should have done from the beginning. I should have thrown a flare down, dropped a turret, but I was trying to be cocky, or not cocky, but, you know, conservative, and it just didn't work. So don't make that same mistake. As soon as you get into these areas, I mean, this is why you conserve your ammo and your supply. So when you get to this area, you have enough to get through it unscathed, or, you know, as damaged as little as possible. So just keep taking these guys out. And yeah, I'll end with about 230,000, a little bit more than that maybe, which will definitely be enough to work my upgrades on the what do you call it, shocker. Now this was stupid of me. I shouldn't have run back into that area to get the $10,000 crate when I knew that there was a Fatso and a slasher guy coming at me, but I got lucky and I kind of knew that the gate was open, so I just ran back to the turret, let the turret hit up the enemies a bit. The stopping power prevents them from advancing on me too much, and then I just run for the gate and be done with the level. So I'm going into round 8 with some damage, and that's not a good thing. You kind of want to be as full as health as possible, but you don't want to waste your health kit. But that does it for now, guys. Wait for the next vid.